Now, I'm pretty sure you are probably wondering, what am I doing here? Right? Usually the angle of the camera is in front of me. I talk about Bitcoin or all the other stuff. Although today the Trump coin is pumping like fuck. But I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm not gonna talk about Bitcoin or Trump coin or crypto or public speaking or any of the subjects that I usually talk about. Today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite things in life. And that thing is a cigar. Today I'm gonna be talking about cigars and of course coffee. This goes really well with the cigar. So this video I'm just gonna be chilling, smoking my cigar and talking to you guys. And telling you basically why I smoke cigars and why I like to smoke cigars. Now, I'm not encouraging anybody to go and smoke cigars, although I would recommend that you try. But if you don't want to try, if you don't want to smoke cigars, and maybe you wonder why do people smoke cigars, maybe this video will answer your questions. Although it's purely personal, I'm answering this question from my own personal view, like from my own perspective. I do not represent other cigar smokers. So I'm just going to be talking about myself here, okay? As I drink my coffee. So I'm going to be smoking a cigar called GWC, Great Wall Cigar. It's a famous brand here in China. And you can see it. It's a famous brand in China. It's not very expensive. I buy it for 80 yuan, but if you go from a cigar shop, but of course if you go to a cigar lounge, they sell it for 180 or sometimes even 200 yuan, depends on which cigar lounge you go to. So I buy it from a cigar shop and I smoke it at home or when I'm chilling or trying to relax, because one of the reasons why I like to smoke cigars is that it takes time to smoke a cigar. And usually when you smoke a cigar, you don't want to rush it. In other words, you want to take your time. You want to smoke slowly, preferably over a conversation with a friend or, new people that you meet at the cigar lounge or anywhere you go. And so yeah, let's light up this cigar and keep talking about cigars. So the first thing that you need to do to light up a cigar is that you need to cut it. You need to cut the head. This is the head of the cigar. This is the foot of the cigar. So we're going to cut the head. Now, there are two ways with which you can cut the cigar. I have here a cigar pocket. It's made out of leather and it comes with cigar cutter. Now this cutter is called the guillotine cutter. And basically you're gonna put the cigar inside and you're gonna guillotine that cigar. But I'm not gonna use this one because it's not really my preferred method to do. This is the guillotine cutter. I like to use the I think it's called the punch cutter or the puncher cutter, something like that. Usually it comes with you can buy it like a separate device, or it also comes with a cigar torch lighter. So this is a torch lighter with which I light my cigar, and it has this piece with this punch cutter. It's like a small circle with which you punch the cigar and you cut a hole from which you can smoke it. So this is the one I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna cut the cigar here like this. Just put it here and you punch and you take it out. So now we have a nice cut. And then sip my coffee. And then I'm gonna light up the cigar. So first of all, you light it up like this. You try to light it up evenly from all sides. And then you're gonna put it in your mouth and you're gonna start to smoke and light at the same time like this. Tastes really good. Flavor is good. And this goes really well with coffee, as I said. This one is not that strong. It still has a good flavor, a good tobacco flavor, but it's not that strong because I've tried other stronger cigars before. But still, I like this one. It has a good taste. And of course, just like black coffee without sugar, I think that cigar is an acquired taste. Just like coffee without sugar, because a lot of people, especially from my country, like Morocco, they can't really drink coffee or tea without sugar. And I'm like, you are actually just drinking sugar. You are not really drinking coffee. But I used to also drink coffee with sugar, and I decided, I think in 2018, to cut the sugar. And it was really difficult at first because my taste buds were still used to all the sugar. So coffee was bitter at the time when I first started cutting sugar. But after a while, it's like my taste buds, they adapted to the new taste of coffee. Now I find sugarless black coffee one of the most delicious things I could drink. And I can't really drink coffee with sugar anymore. It's just too fucking sweet. I can't do it. So it's an acquired taste. You have to acquire it through practice. It's not easy. Not everybody can do it. I mean, kids don't have acquired taste because they are kids, right? They just like sugary things, sweet things. But as you grow up, you start to develop an acquired taste for the good stuff that is not easily appreciated by everybody. One of those things are coffee and, of course, cigars. So, now, of course, when you smoke a cigar, you have to smoke it slowly because you might get nicotine poisoning. And it happened to me once because I wasn't aware of this. Usually you shouldn't be puffing the cigar more than 3 times in, say, a minute. So you should take your time. Don't be in a rush. Smoking a cigar is supposed to be enjoyable and it's supposed to be slow. And like I've said, it's supposed to be done as you relax, or as you are having a good conversation with a friend, or as you are watching something. So sometimes I would watch something online, some video, some movie, or I would smoke with my friend Mark. I did a podcast with Mark, the car guy. So we usually meet and we have a smoking session and we talk about cars and Bitcoin and all the good stuff. So yeah, smoking cigars is a good thing to relax and to enjoy and to unwind from all the pressure and all the stress that you might have been going through during the week. Because I am not the kind of guy that smokes cigars every day. I only smoke cigars on the weekend or in some events, in some special events. Sometimes I might smoke it during the week, but most times I only smoke it on the weekend. And I think that's a healthy, dose of cigars, of nicotine intake. And speaking of nicotine, of course, we've heard all kind of bad stuff about nicotine. And I'm not saying it's all good, but we tend to ignore the advantages of nicotine. Now, nicotine actually has been proven to improve your cognitive performance. So it actually improves your focus and your attention and your memory. So it's not all bad. And it's also a stimulant, so it gives you energy, it makes you energetic if you want to get shit done. And if you want to be sharper intellectually, if you are discussing, of course, like I've said, one of my favorite things to do is to smoke and have a good conversation with someone. Tastes really good. Tastes really good, especially with coffee. So yeah, I think that nicotine is not this evil thing that you have to avoid completely. I mean, people like to talk shit about nicotine in cigars in particular, and I have to make a distinction between cigars and cigarettes, and maybe I'm gonna talk about that in a minute, but let me just finish this point. So I was saying, people like to portray nicotine as this evil thing that you have to avoid completely, and that it has no health benefits. And like I've said, it's actually good for your cognitive performance. So if you care about your mental sharpness and your mental acuity, maybe you need to smoke a cigar once a week. Maybe you're gonna be doing a favor for your brain and your mind. And also, there is nothing better than smoking a cigar after a good dinner. I mean, if you have a good steak, you finish the steak, you get your cup of coffee, your cigar, and you smoke it. That's like the perfect dinner. So yeah, the difference between why I never smoked cigarettes, by the way. I've never smoked cigarettes, and to be honest, cigarettes have never appealed to me. I never understood the appeal of cigarettes. Although maybe back in the day, like writers, they also needed the nicotine for their creative work and for their ability to focus, also with coffee. But I was never into that. I never thought about starting smoking cigarettes even for the nicotine. However, I've always liked cigars. Cigars look royal, you know? They look special, they look regal, they look, I would even say they look masculine. They look like something that is special. Not everybody smokes cigars, let's face it. Not everybody smokes cigars. And yes, I'm that kind of guy. I am the kind of guy who likes to do things that other people don't do. I mean, I've talked about this before. When I was a kid, I went into magic because I wanted to do something special. And I wanted to distinguish myself from all my classmates and all the kids I knew at school and do something that looks impossible and impress not just kids, but even my teachers. So maybe that's part of why I've gotten into cigars, is because I like to do things that not so many people do. But also because I think you can actually make some good acquaintances through cigars. Because, you know, people who smoke cigars, they tend to be interesting, at least from my experience and from what I've seen. Although smoking cigars has become much more popular nowadays than before, but still, people who smoke cigars tend to be interesting in one way or another. I mean, the fact that they smoke cigars makes all the difference if you think about it. But still, they tend to be interesting people. They tend to be high value people. I'm not talking just in terms of finance and money, but they tend to have distinct tastes and they tend to have some edge to them, you know? Because here's the thing, you would never meet some homeless looking junkie or some junkie looking homeless or someone who looks like a junkie and a homeless who smokes cigars. I've never seen it. Usually people who smoke cigars tend to be interesting. They tend to be high value in some way, intellectually or financially or culturally or artistically. So if you smoke cigars, you are definitely going to meet some interesting people and you are going to have some interesting acquaintances. And it's a good thing to have. And you might have differences in politics or religion or every ideology or cultural cultural movement that you might differ in with this guy or with this man, but the fact that you smoke cigar, you can still bond and you can still make connection with these men who you will not only enjoy their company over a cigar, but they might also introduce you to new ideas, new business opportunities, new places, new things. Because like I've said, people who smoke cigars tend to be interesting. They tend to have an niche. So that's also one of the things that I like about cigars. And I noticed it long before I started smoking cigars, because also I didn't smoke cigars for like 10 years or something. I've only started smoking cigars in 2022. Now we're in 2025, so it's not that long. But still, I've been doing it. I've been smoking cigars almost every weekend. And sometimes I even smoke, like I said, sometimes I even smoke it during the week. The taste is really good. So yeah, smoking cigars is also not as unhealthy as smoking cigarettes, because as you have to know, cigars are made purely from tobacco, except if it's some cheap ass cigar. Maybe that one would have some chemical additives. But cigars are made from pure tobacco, there's nothing else. Whereas cigarettes, they tend to have a shitload of chemical additives. And I think one of the reasons why people who smoke cigarettes tend to get cancer quickly, although not all of them, but it's proven that cigarettes cause cancer. But I think part of the reason why cigarettes, they cause cancer more than cigars, and there is no, from what I've seen at least, there is no evidence that cigar smoking causes cancer in the short term. But I think the reason why cigarettes, cigarette smokers tend to get cancer a lot is because mostly of the additives, of the chemical additives, rather than the nicotine and the tobacco. So when I do a risk-benefit calculation, I think it's worth it to smoke a cigars. I think if I'm going to take a risk, and life is all about risk taking, especially if you are a man, I think smoking cigars is a risk worth taking, because it's such an enjoyable activity that you can have by yourself or with the company of other cigar smokers. And it's just something that, just something enjoyable and beautiful. And it helps you unwind and it helps you relax. And if I have to take a risk that one day I'm gonna get cancer, although I think the likelihood of me getting cancer from smoking cigars once a week or even twice a week is very low. But if that's the risk I have to take to enjoy, to have this moment, then I will take it, because I'm not planning on living on forever anyway. So here is something that I noticed from smoking cigars in China. If you go to a Chinese cigar lounge, usually like in the West, if you smoke cigar, you hold it like this, or even like this, and you smoke it like this, right? Here in China, this is how they smoke cigars. First of all, they hold it like this, vertically, and then they smoke it like this. Now, the reason why they do that is they want to keep the ashes. They don't want to break the ashes. So their goal, and it's actually a fun game to do with other Chinese cigar smokers, is they keep smoking and they keep it going. They keep the ashes all the way to the, like, the longer your ashes, the better. So if you keep the ashes as long as possible, then you win. It's actually a fun activity to do, and I've done it a few times. It's actually enjoyable and even addictive, but I still like to smoke my cigars the Western way, if I might say. So I like to hold my cigar like this and smoke it like this. But I have to say the temptation to keep the ashes is quite strong. So I also like to keep the ashes, but not in the Chinese way. So yeah, like I've said, this cigar tastes good. It has a good taste, good flavor. It's not that strong, but it's still strong if you are a beginner. But it's something that I actually enjoy, this cigar in particular. And I've tried other cigar brands. I do also smoke like mini cigars. This is one of them. It's also from the same company, this one. But I have to say this mini cigars also contain chemical additives, more so than these cigars, than the big cigars, because big cigars, or at least premium big cigars, quality cigars, they tend to be made purely from tobacco. So yeah, today the Trump coin pumped to $77 last time I checked, and tomorrow is gonna be January 20th. So tomorrow Trump's gonna be in office. Trump's gonna become president. And I do feel, although I am against meme coins and shit coins in general, and I don't talk about them in my channel because they are risky and they are not based on any solid fundamentals like Bitcoin. But I have to say, I do feel like I missed a great opportunity with the Trump coin. Because if I just bought it, today's 19, right? Yeah. So if I just bought it when it was first launched, like at the price of $1 or $2, and if I bought like just $500 or $1,000, I would have made a shitload of money. And this is the temptation of meme coins. This is the danger of meme coins. You always think that you can catch some meme coin pump, and you end up spreading yourself too thin, and you see people making a lot of money. It's just like gambling, to be honest. It's just like gambling. Although I have to say, with Donald Trump, it's different because he is a president. And maybe the hype will fade in a day or two. But still, because he is a president, I should have known better. I was just busy these last 2 days. I didn't have time. I was actually busy during the day. So if I was actually free, I would have bought some. But still, I don't want to, beat myself over it. I just want to relax and smoke my cigar, because I know that I'm actually buying and holding the hardest money in the history of mankind, and that is Bitcoin. Oops, I just did it the Chinese way, but it's fine. So yeah, I know I'm holding Bitcoin, and I know this Bitcoin will also skyrocket in the next few days because of Trump also. So I'm not that mad, because yes, I missed a great pump, and a lot of people made a lot of money. but I'm pretty sure that some people will lose a lot of money as well. And it happens always with fucking meme coins. It's such a risky, dangerous business that I try not to occupy my mind much with it. So I try not to think too much or research meme coins, because researching meme coins takes a lot of time, and it's all based on hype. As I said, it's all based on hype. You never know what's gonna go to the moon. You never know what's gonna go down, and that's not to mention all the rug pulling that happens in the meme coin space. So that's why I don't talk about it in my channel, and I don't really recommend the meme coins to anybody. If you want to buy, you can buy. I mean, I talked about the barbell strategy in my Nassim Talib video, and I also talked about it during my podcast with Mark, the car guy. So maybe if you wanna do the barbell strategy and you wanna allocate 10% of your wealth into something high risk, high reward, then maybe you can put some of your money in some meme coins. I can't recommend any meme coins to you because I'm not that much into them. But the Trump meme coin would have been a good choice to go with 2 days ago. Now I think it's kind of too late. It's $77. I don't think it's gonna go up that high. Maybe it will, but I'm not willing to take the risk. I think it's too risky at this point, and it's too late. If you didn't buy it for the price of under $1, or at least from $1 to $3, it's better not to buy it at all. Or at least $10, it's better not to buy it at all. Now it's 77. I think it's too late. So as you guys can see, the ashes are still here. This is also another indicator that this is a good cigar, because good cigars can keep their ashes. Bad cigars, they can't. So this is an indicator that this is actually a good cigar. I'm not sure if you can find it outside of China, but this one is quite popular here in China, and it's one of the biggest cigar companies here in China. And yes, I did try some other Western cigars. I tried Cohiba. I tried one of my favorite cigars is Quorum. I think it's from Nicaragua. Yeah, it's from Nicaragua. Romeo y Julieta also. I tried a few cigars. Flathead is really good, and it's so fucking big. It might take you 3 hours to fucking smoke that gigantic piece of cigar. Flathead is really good. I might make a video about it later. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to make some cigar reviews. So yeah, I've tried a lot of cigars, and I actually like to change. I like to smoke, especially Western cigars, I have to say. I tried a few Chinese ones, but because most Chinese cigars, like, they have Chinese names, and I can't really remember the Chinese names. I mean, I can remember them by seeing them. If I see it, I will recognize it. But I like to go with Western cigars mostly when experimenting. I mean, I've tried a few other Chinese cigars, but they're not really. I didn't like them that much. This is the only one that I liked. The Chinese cigar that I liked. Okay, so now I'm gonna try to keep the ashes. I'm not gonna break it. So let me do it the Chinese way. Coffee. So yeah, I think that smoking cigars or taking the risk of wanting to smoke a cigar is a good indicator that you are someone who's willing to take risks in life, to enjoy life and to get the most out of it. Because here's the thing, if you avoid everything that is risky, you're not gonna do anything in life, are you? I mean, with Bitcoin, a lot of people, they like to say that it's risky, although it's not. But like I've said in one of my videos, most people, they don't really tackle issues from first principles. They just follow authority figures. They can't really think for themselves. But if you are a risk taker, if you are someone who thinks for yourself, I think you would enjoy smoking a cigar. Not only that, you would enjoy smoking a cigar and talking about Bitcoin to your friends, and maybe convince them to get into Bitcoin as well. And also, speaking of Bitcoin, speaking of all the subjects that I talk about on my channel, one of them is public speaking. The fact that you smoke cigars, the fact that you're gonna be smoking cigars with other cigar enthusiasts, with other cigar smokers, it will push you and it will put you in a situation where you have to talk to new people, to make new acquaintances. So that will also help you with your speaking skills. So if you want to sit with cigar smokers, you somewhat have to be an interesting person. You have to be interesting, and you have to be interested in interesting things to be interesting. So you can talk and you can be a good conversationalist. Now, I'm not saying all cigar smokers are interesting people. I'm sure there are a few annoying cigar smokers who are not interesting. But generally, like I've said, people who smoke cigars tend to have an edge to them, and they tend to be interested, and they tend to be interested in things that not so many people are interested in. You know, that's why they went into cigars and they decided to acquire the taste for cigars. Looks good, huh? Looks really good. I'm really enjoying this. And guys, you wouldn't believe what time it is. Now, here, it's actually 10:07 p.m. So, it's night time and I'm drinking coffee, which has no effect on me anymore. And I talked about this on my dopamine video, although I don't drink that much coffee like before. But I still like to drink coffee, and I can drink it any time of the day, and I can still go and sleep if I'm tired. And yes, I like to smoke a cigar at night or sometimes in the morning. Like there are no rules to cigar smoking. You know, I see all these videos of people who show you how to smoke a cigar. So you have to hold it this way, and you have to sit this way, and you have to move it this way. I think all those rules are kind of snobbish and unnecessary. If I want to hold the cigar like this, I can hold the cigar like this. If I want to hold it like this, I can hold it like this. Like, there is no right or wrong when it comes to smoking cigars. Maybe there is right or wrong on how to light the cigar and how to prepare it, and even on how to smoke it in terms of pacing, like timing. But other than that, I don't think there are any rules that you need to follow. The time you take out from your day to smoke a cigar should be a time where you relax and you sit to do something that you enjoy in your own way. So don't let any of these cigar snobs who want to tell you how to smoke your cigar, like, they have no authority on how to tell you how you should be smoking your cigar, or why the way you smoke your cigar is wrong. I think it's complete bullshit, and I don't really watch these videos. I can't watch them. I try to watch a few. I think it's too much bullshit, and I don't have time for that. I don't really have time for that. I have time to smoke my cigar, I don't have time to watch some snob telling me how to smoke my fucking cigar. And I do believe that most cigar smokers don't really follow those etiquette or those cigar smoking rules. I think most cigar smokers also see through that bullshit and they just want to smoke their cigars, they just want to enjoy it. They just want to have a good time with their cigar, hold it in whichever way they want and have a good time with their cigar. That's what this is all about. You want to enjoy your cigar smoking time, you want to relax, you want to have a good conversation, or you want to enjoy your show, whatever thing you do with your cigar, it's your time, and don't let anybody ruin that time for you. So I even put it on the ashtray, and the ashes are still there. So like I've said, this is an indicator that this is a good cigar. Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, I fucked it up, but it's fine. It's fine. This never happened. It only happened because there is a camera. So I'm gonna cut this part, I will clean this stuff, and I will come back. Okay, so I'm back. I cleaned the table. Now this usually happens, that's why you should be careful if you want to keep the ashes. This is one of the reasons why the Chinese, they hold it like this and they keep it like this. But yeah, it could happen to anybody, and it's a normal thing. Don't how to say, don't dwell over it too much. It happens. Just clean your table and continue smoking your cigar. Yeah, I also forgot to mention, I think most cigar smokers know this, but maybe like non-cigar smokers, they don't know, but you don't actually inhale the cigar down to your lungs. You just, you just puff it and you keep it in your mouth, and then you let it go and you enjoy the taste, and you still get nicotine from that. Actually, you can get a lot of nicotine from one cigar. It's the equivalent of a lot of cigarettes. But like I've said, with the cigar, you are not smoking chemical additives. It's just pure tobacco. That's all what it is. So I think it's time to call it a video and end this video. I'm still gonna enjoy my cigar. I didn't finish it yet, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys learned something about cigars, and maybe you want to try it sometime soon. So let me guys know what you think in the comments below, and let me guys know if you want to see more cigar videos, although I'm already planning on making more cigar videos because I like cigars and I enjoy cigars, and I want to share my passion for cigars with my viewers, with you people who watch my channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Take care.